Hey, what's up? Today, and I've just been inspired today to share on Facebook. I think, it's such a great medium to connect with people and to share, some different things. And one of the things that came up for me is just goal setting. And I know that, it's one of those things that's pretty common. But the question is, how many of you have goals? What's up, Charlie? What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well, my friend. We all have goals, right? And but not everybody is. What's up, Becca? What's going on? Not everybody is willing to express those goals or to get clear about what those things are. And I think one of the most powerful things that you can do in life is just to get really clear about what it is that you want, based on who you are. Like, it's that those questions of who am I, what do I want, what am I here for, and what do I want to be creating. And I think everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to travel. Everybody wants to go. Hey, what's up, Kelly? What's going on? Long time. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to travel. Everybody wants to do these things, but they never really get specific enough in what they want. And I'm not here to redefine some framework for setting goals. There's lots of them, right? SMART goals, smarter goals, do it goals, all kinds of different goal frames. But I am suggesting that it is important. It is important for us to get clear about who we are and what we want to create. And if you don't have goals, the invitation is to get clear about what it is that you want. And I just told this story on Instagram, but I remember a time where it was a few years back, and I had a grandmother that recently passed away, and she was about 104 years old at the time. And I was just thinking about that recently as I was working at Stanford, and I was working with a bunch of kids. Not every summer, but almost every summer for the last 20 years, I've been up either at Stanford or Villanova or one of these universities, whether that's international, Hong Kong or Malaysia, Singapore. And I've been working with these youth programs, and I've been working with high school kids. It's anywhere from a group of 30 kids to 3,500 kids, like assembly style. And one of the conversations, or one of the common themes in that space is goal setting, because there's so much potential. And if you can get people clear about what their values are pretty early. What's up, James? What's up, man? Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. If you can get people engaged pretty early in that conversation, then they can start to develop some life patterns that are pretty phenomenal and pretty substantial in creating what they want to create in life. And there's all kinds of statistics on the percentage of people that achieve their goals once they've written it down versus the people that achieve goals, or the percentage that achieve goals when they write it down and they share it with somebody, or if you keep it accountable. Looking sharp, my friend. Thank you, man. Just got the haircut. Hair's looking long. Hey, Margaret, what's going on? Good to see you. And there's all kinds of different facts around how do I become more successful? I mean, obviously one of them, numbers show that if I write down my goals, that's number one, I automatically increases my chances of achieving them. If I share them with somebody else, it then goes up again. And then if I do a weekly update with somebody, right? And that's one of the things that I talk about as far as coaching, and how I support a lot of my clients is through that conversation. But it's also something that you can do on your own, is really just supporting yourself in that conversation. But that has to start, and this is where a lot of people get caught up, is it has to start with your ability to vision what you want your life to be. So again, going back to my story with my grandmother, 104-year-old grandmother, recently passed away a few years ago. And I'm always reminded of this story when I'm at this program, because I'm working with like 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. And I remember when I was that age, and I felt like, man, there's so much that I know, right? I remember being 16 and just being like, oh, I know it all. I've experienced things, and I'm doing things now, and I'm a young adult, and there's so much. What's up, Kate? What's going on? And there's so much I'm doing now. And, I just remember feeling like I knew it all at 16, 17, 18 years old. And one of the things that I always tell them is like, hey man, like take your entire life, everything that you've known, everything that you've experienced, all the knowledge, all your truths, right? And times that by 6, and that's the amount of potential that you have in your life. And, instead of coming from a space of I know, what if you came from a space of I don't know? And what if it came from a space of I don't know what's possible for me in my life, but I'm willing to trust my intuition and to come from a creative space and come from a heart space and really lead in that space in my life. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Good to see you. Always fun to have family on here. And what if I just led from that space? What if I led from that ultimate knowing of what I really want to be creating and who I am, and what have I just started to get clear on it. And a lot of times people don't know where to start. A lot of people suggest, create a list of values, what's important to you, what fills you up, what causes you to live a fulfilled life, right? And part of the conversation that I have with people sometimes, what's up, man, is what are the things that fill you up, whether that's family or friends or work or relationships, what are the things that fill you up, and then what are the goals that you have related to that. Or one of the exercises that we do at camp is we have the students make a list of I am statements. They write, I am a brother, I'm a sister, I'm a father, I'm a son, whatever it is, and then they create goals that are associated to that. But I think the point of this live is just an invitation. There's so many people out there that aren't living a life of fulfillment, that are feeling a little bit lackluster in their job, or they're working a 9-to-5. They feel like they're going through the same things over and over and over again. And what if you just tore it open? What if you just tore it open and allowed yourself to dream bigger than you ever dreamed before? What if you just allowed yourself to be a little bit silly, a little bit ambitious, and you just really led from your heart and you said, hey, you know what, without any limits, this is what I want to be doing, this is what I want to be creating, this is who I am, and this is what I'm putting out there in the world. And then you wrote it down, and then again you started to have that conversation with people, what would those things be? How would that look in your spirituality? How would that look in your physical health or your emotional health? How would that look in your finances? How would that look in relationship? What would you be willing to do? What would you want to describe, and what would you want to create? And so I just want to invite everybody to do that, is to step into that space. One of my goals in my life is to transform the consciousness of the planet through the things that have been passed on to me, and the gifts that have been given to me, and the experiences that I've had, and the work that I've done to walk through the steps in my life to be in the places that I am today. And it's constant, right? We're always constantly growing, we're always constantly learning, and we're looking for ways to innovate and to inspire and to really rediscover who we are, so that we can be our truest versions of ourselves. And I would say that is the majority of my work. That's in its essence what my work is about. And there's a lot of different ways that I do that, but my work on this planet is about that, is about living in my truth, living in my self-awareness, and expressing that and inviting others to do the same. So again, here's the challenge. In the next week, make a list of 100 goals, and you can break them up. Yeah, that's right, 100. Yeah, and you can break them up into the different categories, right? Mental, physical, emotional, social, financial, and spiritual. But make a list of 100 goals. What are all the things that you would like to do in the remaining of your lifetime? And just be crazy about it. Just be silly about it. Have some fun. Have some creativity. And it's amazing what starts to show up. And just to be in that conversation, and to notice the limitation, or notice the excitement, or notice the the internal dialogue. Oh, I know I shouldn't do that, or I can do that. And just to be in that space of awareness, and to stamp your space. Stamp your space of, this is what I want to be creating, and this is what I want to be doing. And just to live from that truth, and to live from that passion, and then to post about it. I'd love to hear about what those things are. I'm happy to be in that conversation. I'm happy to support you guys moving forward, and I'll continue to share here too. But I just wanted to share that today. I was a little bit inspired by the conversation I was in this afternoon, and just wanted to share that with all of you guys. So again, sending you lots of love from Las Vegas, Nevada. Peace.